Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I...
Hey everybody, welcome back to Mission Carnivore. My name is Andy, and thanks so much for joining me today. And today we're going to talk about me now counting macros, and I'm using the Carb Manager app. I've been using it now since Monday. You know, pretty much I've done it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course today is Thursday. So today I'm not done. I still have to have dinner, but it's really not going to change much. But I'm going to show you guys each day. I'm going to put it posted right here, so it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course today. So you guys can see kind of like what my progress is and how I'm doing with this so far. It's been pretty easy for the most part. I mean, I think there's been maybe one of those where, you know, the information wasn't in there that you got to kind of enter it in manually. And you got to, you know, sometimes it's even wrong because we entered in, and I'll show it to you today, but on today's, but it was this sausage stuff that I was eating, and it said that there was 6 grams of carbs. But when you looked at the package, the package said there was 0 in there. So it was probably entered in incorrectly. So we adjusted all of that. So let me show you guys that, and I'm going to post them right here. So let's go ahead and start with Monday so you guys can see. And again, it's going to be right here. So I did, and I got to put my glasses on, guys. Oh, hey, real quick, before we go over this as well. If you have a YouTube channel, whether if you're just starting or you have a smaller channel, stick around because I want to talk to you guys after I'm done talking about the macros. So, but please stick around for me. All right, let's look at it. Yeah, I wear glasses, so I've worn glasses most of my life. I've needed them badly. So let's look at this. All right, so I did my macros. So Monday, it was my proteins, and don't mind the dogs. Protein, I was, and this is, real quick, this is based on my weight, which was 188, I'm sorry, I wish it was 188 pounds, 288 pounds. And then my height and my age. So the protein, I was at 164, and I was 7 grams over as far as protein, and then fat, way under, as you know, according to what this was here, and then calories I was under as well. And then the carbs I was 8 grams over. So listen, I'm not really worried about that, because I look back at, I'm sure what I was eating back in the day, probably 200-300 carbs, if not maybe more a day. So if I'm doing, if that day on Monday specifically, I did 8 carbs over 0, right? That's a pretty good day. So, and that's just like the I can't remember exactly what that was on that day, but it was, it might've been, actually, I don't even remember for Monday, but anyway, so still there was 8 grams over on that. But again, I'm not even worried about that. We used to give ourselves a little bit up to 20 grams for the day, but to have 8, that's not bad. So that's Mondays. So let me know your thoughts too. What do you guys think? Am I having too much protein? Clearly not having enough fat. And then what about the calorie intake? Again, this is based off of my age, my height, my weight, and then also I should say my goal, because I want to get to 200 pounds. So it's saying that I should be eating about 2,500 calories a day. All right, so there's Monday. And then here is Tuesday. So Tuesday was over 36 grams in protein, was still short on fat. And then I got a little closer to the calorie intake. So it was only 677 calories that I needed to take. And then I lowered the carb intake to 4 grams. So again, not bad. I can't remember the details on what's what on that, but that's what Tuesday was. So not a bad day as far as I'm concerned. Again, let me know what you guys think, but I didn't think that was a bad day. And then of course, lowered the carb intake as well. Now let's look at Wednesday. Put Wednesday up here. And so Wednesday, I was actually under on protein, still with the fat intake, still didn't hit the goal. And then I got even closer to my calorie intake. and then I was 5 grams in over in carbs, because again, carbs is supposed to be 0. So that was yesterday's. Not bad again, but again, guys, let me know, what do you guys think? Should I be eating more, less? What are your thoughts on this? And again, I'm doing carnivore, all right, with maybe a hint of keto in there, but mainly carnivore. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what, I do know what the grams were. So the carb intake on one of those was the Element drinks, because they do have 1 gram of carb in them. So I know that's was one of them. And then let's look at today so far. All right, so here's today's. So no carbs today, all right? And what I'm gonna have for dinner is I'm just gonna have some ground beef. So no carbs on that. So today's going to be 0 carbs, which is pretty cool. And I didn't, so why it's low on that is I didn't have breakfast. So that's why the protein intake was low. I just wasn't hungry this morning. Fat's low. But with the, with the ground beef that I'm gonna have, probably gonna have close to a pound, we'll see. Just depends on, I'm not even hungry right now. Hope's just getting off work. So, just kind of really decided what I want just yet. And then, nowhere near the calorie intake. So that was today. But, I was not that hungry today. Kind of forced myself a little bit through lunch. But so far, I'm doing pretty well. My biggest downfall is water. So I don't know why. I'm having my 1 Element a day, and then I'll have my bubblies. Like I'll have 1 or 2 bubbly a day, and that's pretty much it. So I am having liquid intake, but I'm not drinking a lot of water. So that's kind of like my goal here. It does have something in here for you to track water. So I'm gonna start seeing that. Yesterday, I probably had more water than I've had, but today I haven't had anything other than a couple of bubblies. So that's all I've pretty much had. So that's pretty much it, guys. So far, so good. The scale, again, has not changed at all. I'm still the same weight. So let me know what your thoughts are. Am I eating too much? Am I eating too little? What do you guys think? Again, just stick with carnivore, all right? Not the other kind of stuff that's going on. Just carnivore. What do you guys think? And those that have been that have known how to do the macros and things like that and track. This is all new to me. I've been, of course, working now with Lindy, aka Paleo Barbie, that she is now my health coach, right? She's a certified health coach. So I've been kind of tapping into her knowledge now, and getting information from her, and just making sure that we're on the right path here for me to get to where I want to be. So I'm excited. This is pretty neat. Learned a couple things through this whole process. Because again, you don't know. I didn't know how much carbs I was taking in, or how much protein. I had no clue. So now I have something to gauge and get myself on the right way of making sure that I'm eating correctly. All right. So hopefully that makes sense, and would love to hear your thoughts on this. All right, that's it on that. So a couple of quick things. We're gonna have a big announcement on Mission Keto. So be watching for Hope's upcoming, what? It'll be on Friday. So big announcement on there. We're really excited about it. Really excited about it. So be looking for Hope's video coming out tomorrow, which is Friday. And you'll see the big announcement there. Because I told her, I'm like, you know what? This announcement, your channel's been around a heck of a lot longer. It should be on that. And then after that, you guys will hear it on there. So go check out Mission Keto, and then be looking for her video tomorrow. And then finally, so I mentioned earlier, if you have a small YouTube channel, or you're looking to maybe start a YouTube channel, or maybe you have and you're just kind of getting things going, I'd love to talk to you, because what I'd like to do is put a team together on how we could build our channels, right? So where did I get this idea? So there's been a lot of other influencers out there that they just basically get together and start talking about How can they build their channels? What can make their channels, what things can make their channels stronger, right? And that's all we want to do, right? We want to get these channels to, be great quality. Of course, that's the big thing, is we want to make sure we're giving out great quality to everybody. But what's it going to take for you to, get your channel to that next level? We're small YouTubers, right? Compared to so many others out there. We're very small. Mission Keto, I believe, is just over 13,000 subscribers. And this one, I'm approaching 6,700 here. So again, that, when you look at other influencers out there that have much higher numbers, that's pretty awesome. But we'd like to get there someday too. So if you're interested in doing that, hit me up. You can email me at missioncarnivore@gmail.com. Or you can also message me on Instagram at missioncarnivore. I'll put that all information right there. And it'll also be in the description box on how you can get in contact with me. We'd love to hear from you. We can put something together. I already know one other YouTuber, which again is our friend Lindy from AKA Paleo Barbie. She's going to be joining us already. And then we'll see who else gets into this panel as well. This isn't anything that we're going to be showing on our channel. I mean, I'm not going to say what, it's up to them for their channels, but it's not something that we're going to be discussing here. It's just something offsite that we're going to be talking about, discussing, and just kind of putting things together. So we'll see. Hopefully we can start, building up these channels, and would love to be able to help others succeed as well. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to please hit that like button. Don't forget to share. And if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. And if you want to be a member of this channel, the link is down below in the description box. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.